Okay, we're good. All right. Sounds good. Why don't you start with your reaction, and when did you guys set or agree on these conditions?
Well, the district attorney took the time to review the law, to review the cases that we had presented to him, and agreed with our position that the judge does have the authority to set the bail. We're very grateful for the DA's consideration of this. They also took a lot of time in that decision and did a lot of careful review, so that we're very grateful for that. So then it's just a matter of trying to come up with terms and agree upon, which we very much told them what Commonwealth wanted, and we agree with those appropriate conditions that met everybody's concerns.
You guys have been working on this case for a long time. To see Letitia's reaction today, what was your reaction to this?
Very similar to hers, that you can tell she had a lot of emotion. This is very overwhelming for her. The possibility of going home. There's still one more hurdle to clear, which is making sure the Department of Corrections follow the judge's order. That's what we will be doing next. We work with the department to make sure that we actually effectuate the order she can.
When will that be?
Hopefully the department will have discussions with them starting now. We have the judge's order now. We'll discuss that with the general counsel. If there's an issue, then we'll bring it back to Judge Guido for a decision.
But she could be home tonight.
She's not going to be home tonight. That I can guarantee. So we still have to make sure that the Department of Corrections will be able to do the calculations they need to do to be able to get her out.
What kind of things do they have to do to get her out?
The question that I think from the department's standpoint is because the Commonwealth filed an appeal, what effect that has on the judge's order today. And so we are very confident that it doesn't have any effect. The judge has the right to be able to set bail. The Commonwealth agrees to that. So really what we're doing is whether we can make sure that there's something else for the action.
So the Commonwealth is appealing the decision for a new trial, not the bail.
That's right. And the Commonwealth has the right to do that. So they have filed that notice of appeal. That's their right to do under the law. And they filed that yesterday. So we will address those issues with the Superior Court. So all of the judge's legal findings and factual findings will be reviewed by the Superior Court under a standard that's fairly deferential to the judge. The question of bail is a separate question, which we have to go through those channels to make sure that it can get addressed.
So some excitement today, but it sounds like there's still a long road
Well,
ahead.
she's not coming home tonight, so we still have to go through that. I think you'll hear a lot of excitement once she is home and home back with her family.
And then in terms of where things go from here as far as a new trial goes.
Sure. I mean, that's the question that's going to be on appeal to the Superior Court. So the Superior Court will have the opportunity to review the entire record, to review Judge Guido's decision, to review his opinion when he submits one, and then we'll be filing those briefs in Superior Court. That's probably about a year to resolve that issue.
There's been a lot of community interest in this case. Why do you think this is something that's so important for other people to know about and to understand?
I think it hits home to the community because this is a community issue. These were community members whose lives were cut short, and that's a horrible tragedy for any community to go through. And to lose two people in one incident, that's a big hit, and especially for the families. And we're certainly very sensitive to the families' needs, and we don't like that they have to be dragged through this again. But that can't outweigh the requirement to keep somebody who's innocent in prison. That can't be the balance that we have. So I think there's an interest in this because what we thought was good evidence 4 years ago, we now know is not. And that really raises a question with all of us in terms of whether we want to keep those people in prison.
Do you think this will start a precedent in this case?
This isn't starting a precedent, this is following a precedent, which is going on across the country. We've seen reversals like this here in Pennsylvania, the Montauk Beach case. James Hughley County over in Belfort County walked out of prison earlier this year in agreement with the district attorney's office. But we've seen courts reverse these convictions across the country under very similar circumstances. So I don't think it's a precedent setting, I think it's a precedent jury.
Why was it so important for Letitia to be released as soon as possible?
Well, she has very serious health concerns. And while the Department of Corrections is doing their best to be able to address those, for one, it's a little cheaper for all of us as citizens if they don't have to continue to pay those medical costs and medical bills. And we wanted to get her home with her family so that they can help care for her, make sure she's getting the best medical attention she can.
You were saying a decision from the Superior Court could take a year,
About it.
and that's normal.
That's normal. That's not. There's really no mechanism to kind of speed that process up. But there's no indication from the Commonwealth that they at all want to drive this out. They've been quite quick about getting their action, effectuating their rights, which is, as I said, they have the right to do that. We don't have any problem with that. And then we'll just address it at the stage. We're obviously confident that that will be affirmed. The judge's decision is solid. That's the decision that we need.
But she's been thinking about this.